Now what we're going to do is we're going to learn this idea called synthetic division, and this is going to speed up the process of dividing. And so it's just going to be a process that we learn here that we'll do a couple examples with. So when you use synthetic division, you're going to take, this only works when you're dividing by a binomial that has a coefficient of 1, leading coefficient of 1. So if we had a 3 out here or a 7, you could not use this synthetic division process. There are ways to change it so it works, but for now we'll just be given coefficients of 1. And so this only works with a coefficient when we're dividing by binomials with a coefficient of 1, leading coefficient of 1. This is -2. So actually what we do is we put a +2, so we do the opposite of this out here. And then we're going to list our coefficients. There is supposed to be an x squared here. We list our coefficients here, so this is going to be 4x to the 4th. So we got 4, -7. We don't have to put the variables. -12. And notice we have to the 4th cubed squared, and we're missing an x to the 1st. So just like we did on that last example, we're going to put a 0 there. And it is necessary here. You have to put the 0. If you don't, it's going to mess up this synthetic division. So again, we put the opposite of this. Whatever makes this binomial 0 really is what it is. And then we list our coefficients, putting in 0 for any missing terms. And the rest of this is pretty simple arithmetic. We're going to start by bringing down this leading coefficient. And then from here on out, we're going to multiply and add. And that's just it. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So the multiplication is 2 times 4, which is 8. And then we add. -7 and 8 is 1. And then we multiply again. 2 times 1 is 2. And then we add. -12 and 2 is -10. And we multiply. 2 times -10 is -20. And we add, and we multiply. 2 times -20 is -40, and we add, and we get -35. So we have all these numbers written in a row, but what does this mean? Well, these are the coefficients of our quotient, and let's just talk through this. We took an x to the 4th, and we divided by x. So if we think x to the 4th, and I know this isn't the whole thing, but x to the 4th divided by something with just an x is going to give us an x cubed. And I'm telling you that because down here, once we have these coefficients, this is going to be 4x cubed. So we write our variables back in, 1 layer lower than what we started with. So 4x cubed plus 1x squared. We don't really need the 1. Minus 10x minus 20. And so that got us down to a constant. So what's this -35? Well, that is the remainder. So remainder, -35. And that's synthetic division. Let's try one more here. Remember what we do is we take the opposite of this, so -5. We list our coefficients. We have an x cubed, x squared, x, and 5. So we have all of the terms there that we need. So we're going to put 2, 6, -19, and 5. And the first part, we bring down this 2. Once we bring down, it's multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. So -5 times 2 is -10. We'll add that. That gives us a -4. -5 times -4 is +20. Add that, and we get 1. And -5 times 1 is -5. We add those. We get 0. And so now we come down. This is called the depressed polynomial. It's 1 level lower than an x cubed. So this is going to be 2x squared. Minus 4x plus 1. Now, this is interesting. We have a remainder of 0, so we don't need to put anything. But if we remember from division, if we have a remainder of 0, this was actually a factor of this. Just like 7 into 21. Say this has nothing to do with this problem, these numbers, but 7 and 21 was 3, 21, 0. So we have a remainder 0, so we know that 7 is a factor of 21. Well, since x plus 5 went into 2x cubed plus 6x squared minus 19x plus 5 with a remainder of 0, x plus 5 is a factor of this polynomial. And so that's a review of dividing polynomials. Some new things, the old things were just dividing by a monomial, make it a common denominator, and simplify. We did some long division, and then we learned this new idea of synthetic division, which really does speed up the process of dividing.